You can transition from this side, from being an active income to become an investor. And how do you become an investor? By paying your, there is a secret, by paying yourself. Whatever you're setting aside, you're investing and all that, it should be able to help you become an investor. Transition, whereby these are people that have money, working hard for them, they're able to play golf and they live a good life. But can you go to play golf in the morning? At 9. You're looking forward to get to the office, do the work, get a report and all that to be paid at the end of the month. But you can plan yourself the transitioning by taking care of this. So if there's nothing else you hear in this, get the art of stewardship and paying yourself to build a passive income. Very important. Anything you'll be doing, just trying to see how am I making value, how am I paying myself. Any money you'll be getting, pay yourself first by having an investment. And we'll check that journey after some time and you'll see the change once you evaluate and do an audit. So this is what happens if you pay yourself. And the journey, the transitioning is you're earning your active income here. Part of the money should go to the expenses and the other one is going to be savings, paying yourself. And savings is not enough. If you're doing savings, you're acting like the third servant who said, Master, I know you are not a good man. You reap where you didn't sow, so I took your money and kept it somewhere. If you're just savings, the money is not earning value. The money needs to be invested. So you save, you invest. There are enemies that attack savings. One of them is the inflation. Can you have that money invested? When you have money in your bank, we hear people saying my account was hacked. Can they go hack a government bond that you've already bought? Can they go hack a land that you've already bought somewhere, which is appreciating in value? And you yourself, you become an enemy. You become an enemy to yourself when, if you're able to access that money, as long as that money is able to be accessed on phone, you'll always go for it. Emergencies will always occur. So what am I saying? Distance yourself from your investment. How accessible are you able accessing? Are you able to go on your phone and the next day, on the next minute you have it? Can you try to differentiate? Because the needs will come, but when you assess and you are like, do I need to call Moses? Do I need to liquidate my investment? Do I need to, by the time you think that, you're like, no, I can get an alternative to sort this thing. In fact, you come to realize, in fact, this was not an emergency. It was just something. It was just a want I had, and I can be able to hold more days without it. So, savings, invest. When you invest, you get some returns, money. Then you can spend on that. This passive income. So your expenses taken care of by your passive income, and that's the journey to transition from depending on the active income to the passive income. A journey that everybody should go to that. Then the next thing I want to talk about is, do you know your net worth? As your net worth is here. That's your net worth. Do you know your net worth? When you say someone is a high net worth, what do we mean? Someone is a high net worth individual. Yes, please. He has a lot of money. Perfect. He has given an answer. He has a lot of money. He is a high net worth. But that money is not in cash. It is invested. It is in different asset classes. So this is an exercise I want to. The other assignment I will give you, the first assignment, it is a budget. A budget. Go sit down, come up with a budget. And I'll call it an investor budget that is trying to address this, paying yourself here. In all your asset classes and all that you have, whatever the income, pay yourself in your budget. And always, the budget, you can always try to cut things and see, fix. If you're able to save something somewhere, you have an allowance, maybe you work and you're given some airtime allowance. How do you treat that? That money should go towards, maybe you're working somewhere, you're given fuel. You should have spent that money by fueling. That money, the best way to treat that money, where the transport has been taken care of, pay yourself. That's when you say, when I worked for this X and Y, Z company or certain company, I was able to pay myself by putting aside that money into good use. So pay yourself. The next assignment, first is the budget. The next assignment, I want you to go sit down. As an individual, as a family, go do what you call a net worth analysis. Analyze yourself. Take all your assets you have, cash, current account or savings, you have an insurance, you have a pension plan, you have an investment portfolio where you bought shares, bonds, property, maybe you have a property giving you rental. How much is it? What's the value of that? A car, if you're using it for movement, Kitambo used to say car is not an investment, but it is. Nowadays, you're doing some movement and all that, and you need that car. And mostly in Nairobi. You realize how you can waste time if you're trying to use this public means sometimes. I see it as a convenience. It gives you that convenience and you're able to do things. If I'm doing my meetings, if I say I'll take matatu from movement, from wherever, I'll waste a lot of time. So if it helps me generate an income, I'll put it there. So, house, shamba, and all those things. Business is giving you a cash flow. Look at that. Then we come to total household. This is now from the most liquid assets. You have a money market fund, you have a savings somewhere, you have a circle here, add circle there. All those add there, the value, the money you've invested there. Then the next thing comes to what you call liabilities. Bank loan. Do you have a bank loan? How do you treat a bank loan in your budget? If it's a bank loan that you took towards acquiring an asset, that should be given monthly. You should have it in your budget, the payment of that loan. And the asset is towards the paying yourself, because it is an asset you acquired, it's appreciating value. Have it there. Circle loan, mortgage balance, and other debts. Highlight them, including if you have an M-Shwari, if you have a freezer. And the goal is to move you from debt is addictive. There are two types of debts. Let me talk about that. Actually, it's here. We have one, good debt, and two, bad debts. When do we classify and say a debt is good? If you took the money and maybe you invested in your business, or you are buying land, or you are buying an asset which is appreciating in value, or you did an investment, it is a good investment. Why? The thing that you bought with that has appreciated in value or has given you an interest which is able to help you to offset the loan that you took plus the interest you are paying on the loan. But if you took the money and spent, consumed the money, what has happened? You'll be needed to go back to your pocket, pay the loan plus the interest from your pocket. Then that becomes a bad debt. So when you're taking a loan, always think, is this a good debt or a bad debt I'm taking? Figure out, how is the repayment? Can my budget accommodate that repayment? If your budget doesn't accommodate that repayment, then you figure out how much do I need to take? And what was the goal for that? And the growth. You need good debts to grow. Sometimes you may not have enough money to acquire that asset you are looking forward. But you can have a payment plan if it's a good debt that you're engaging in. If it's an asset you're acquiring, you can always do that. But work with a budget. Even businesses, you leverage, you just see how much is the debt do I have in my business. If I get a partner, maybe an equity, or give me a loan, how is that going to look like? If I get a long-term investor in my business, how does it look? What's the value proposition? Yeah? So when you're thinking of those expansion and all that, engage an advisor or a consultant in such an area when it comes to the business and all that. So do this, all the liabilities from the most small credit card, you are paying the interest for that. How is that looking like? Yeah. There's a way you can work with it. I don't want to say you don't have it, but you can know what the time do I need to repay. Yeah. So work this. Then have all your total household liabilities. All your total liabilities, highlight them. Then take your assets minus your liabilities and get to know what is your net worth. If you find yourself on the negative, that means you have more liabilities than the assets. The goal is you need to move. The goal is to move you from the negative to the positive. The goal is to move you from this to this. And how do you treat these loans? One of them is not defaulting. And check, if you have a loan that has a higher interest rate, can you repay that loan fast? Because it's taking, the more you stay longer with that loan, it is taking more money from you. If the loans you have the one that are, we call it snowballing, whereby there are those ones that have a small amount, you can repay them very fast. And then you are concentrating on this one. If the interest is so high, repay it as fast as you can. The principle, if it's on a reducing balance, whatever you're paying reduces the learning balance. The interest calculated on that reduces. So look for the options. When you're taking the loans, always ask, can you fast track? Can you repay your loans before given time period? If you have that provision, pay it and move on. And when you're in debt, don't forget to pay yourself. What I'm trying to say is, even if you're in debt, you need to invest. Because debt is money going out. Here, it is the money that is coming back to your pocket. You are securing your tomorrow. So if you have to balance how much is going towards this, repaying of this loan, and how much is going towards paying myself. Now that we are paying the loan, we don't want to say that we don't do the development. We don't pay ourselves. No, you just plan. This is able to service this loan, and this is able to go towards paying myself. So this is an assignment. Do this. Go highlight all your assets, your liabilities, get to see your position. What is your net worth? Where are you? And how you can always get better. Yeah? As I come almost to conclusion, okay, so this is what we have interacted with this, have done business and all that. It's called Maslow hierarchy of needs. And the hierarchy Maslow of needs says our needs, how they move, how they graduate from one level to the next. The first one is the physiological needs, where you say air, water, food, shelter. You need this. After this, you start caring of what you call safety needs. You start thinking of, once you're able to take care of this, you start thinking of home security, employment, where do I stay, health, property, personal security. It's become a priority. Then you move from this, you go to something we call love and belonging. You care, who are my people, friendship, family, sense of connection. Then you move from there, you go to what you call esteem, yeah? Where you say you want to feel respected in the society, yourself as you are recognized, you know, your strength, your freedom. And then you go to the most ultimate, which we call it self-actualization, where you want to be the most that you can be, going beyond yourself, going out there, becoming of impact and all that. This is the normal human needs. But sometimes, if you walk to town, sometimes you meet someone sleeping on the floor under the bridge, and sometimes you see even kids there, it's raining and all that. And then you wonder, their security and all that, and first thing you ask yourself those questions. Why? Because you have managed to take care of this. You are now thinking of the security and all that. That person on the street doesn't have the physiological needs. That doesn't have the basics. They can't even think, where do I belong? Who are my people? How do people see me on the streets? Because they have not gotten this. But maybe the difference between you and that person, because maybe you have a salary. What if the salary was not there? If that salary was not there, would you still think being on the street is risk? If that salary was not there, would you still? Then I come back to paying yourself. From what you are getting, some income need to be set aside for your safety. This is your safety net. This is your tomorrow. This is what will differentiate you from being here. And this came, the COVID, people lost jobs. Others relocated permanent to the village. you know. Others, lives changed. Why? Because of the over-reliance on the active income, and that active income was not there. So what am I trying to tell you is, you need to make it as a decision to build a passive income. This is your safety net. Like, this is what, when we say safety belt in a car, this is what will help you. How far can you go deeper in case you fall? How far can you go? It is paying yourself. Part of it is what will take care of you. So with that, we have been able to come up with 4 portfolios, which we advise clients that in your investment journey, you need these 4 portfolios. And let me just discuss them briefly as we move forward. And we say it's the ability to increase one net worth and financial standing through various means, including earning more money, saving and investing, and making wise financial decisions. And wealth creation is a long-term goal. It is not a day. I'm not coming here to tell you that tomorrow you'll be able to multiply or triple your wealth and all that. It's a journey. There's a part of learning, there's a part of equipping yourself, there's a part of interacting with the market and having the right person to work with in that wealth creation journey, a right investment partner. So it requires discipline. Yeah? When you know this is money for paying myself, that money is not diverted to other needs. We always have, in behavioral finance, we have things we call like mental accounting, where we attach money different meanings. The money that is meant for school fees, we see that as a serious money. The money was meant for paying yourself, you always say, I can start next month. This month there are many needs, let me take care of them, I'll start next month. And that's why every year we have resolution. January, this year I'm going to. This year I didn't do this. Because of what? This is what we attach value to different money. So what I say is, paying yourself should be treated as urgent as how you treat your rent. As urgent how if you don't have a fuel in your car, you can't go. So you know very well you need to fuel. So how you take care of that, you need to take care of yourself, paying yourself. So persistent, smart financial planning. So we start with what we call lifestyle portfolio. Lifestyle portfolio should be able to address the first physiological needs. And you need to build a portfolio that is able to give you a passive income. By paying yourself, you are committing money to an investment which is giving you a passive income. That passive income is able to take care of things like food, clothing, shelter. You don't have to work to meet this. This should be made passively by your portfolio. Okay? That is, and this is not an emergency fund. These are lifestyle. We are saying you need to wean you off from active income to passive. How do you move transitioning? It is by building a portfolio such that by the time you retire, and this becomes also your retirement portfolio, it will take care of your expenses. So you need to build it the moment you get your first income. The moment you get your first income, you need to start it. If you have not started, you need to start. The best thing is you can start now. So you have this lifestyle portfolio. Number 2, security portfolio. This now involves family, home ownership, healthcare. How do you go about? Our mom told us about having a health insurance or medical insurance. Maybe there are people you are supporting, our parents and all that. What is this that you can do, or your loved ones? What can you do? The basic you can do is to cover them. Because if you're on a wealth creation journey, a sickness occurs, it throws you off the balance. You have to spend money which you are paying yourself to buy a home and take care of that. So what is this in your budget? You can be able to do that. And the basic we say, it's like an NHIF. It's able to take care of that. And you can advance now, go to a medical, get a cover. And depending on your capability, we are all in different levels, as I said. So you are able to take care of that. So healthcare, emergency fund, if in 6 months, 6 to 1 year, you need to provide between, a period of 6 to 9 months. In case I don't have a job, I have an emergency fund, and this is not the lifestyle. The lifestyle should continue, should be building every month. Here, this is what is supposed to transition you from active income to passive. Here, you're saying in 6 months' time, I've provided an emergency fund. Education. How have you planned for your kids? College, high school, university, even yourself, maybe you're saying, I want to advance. How am I planning this? This is a security portfolio. You can have this and you can have this. The security and the lifestyle portfolio, very important.